today the topic that we are going to discuss is the question, why is positive thinking essential for a good life? Now, to answer this question, we have to understand the power of our thoughts. Our thoughts actually have the power to make us or break us. Everything begins with our thoughts. Our life experiences spring from the thoughts we actively engage in. So it's right to say that we are what we think. Now, to comprehend the essence of this statement, we first need to understand the link between our thoughts, emotions, and behavior. Now, let us ask ourselves, when we are unhappy with where we are in life, how do we deal with it? So often I've seen that people go about transforming their external environment, believing that doing so will create the necessary change they hope to see. Some may buy materialistic things looking for happiness. Some may travel to escape problems. Some may seek substances to numb the mind. But of course, we fall back from where we started, unhappy with where we are today. Our focus is on external factors, but in truth, we have to address the root cause, which is basically our thinking. If we want to change anything at the outside, we will first have to change the inside. What we think directly influences how we feel. How we feel directly influences how our body reacts. And our body reactions influence how we behave. And how we behave comes to define who we are and what we experience in life. So it is right to say that the quality of our thoughts actually create the quality of our life. It sounds simple. If we get the inside right, the outside will automatically fall in place. So it's all about our thinking process. Now, how do we understand our thinking? Thinking can be understood when we pay attention to self-talk. Self-talk is the endless stream of unspoken thoughts that run through our mind. Now, these automatic thoughts can be positive or negative. We create our own happiness or misery depending on our thoughts. See, whenever we engage with specific thoughts, we begin to feel the emotions which are triggered by these thoughts. Now, this leads to an emotional state which influences how we act. Every thought we experience creates a chemical reaction in the brain, triggering an emotion. Now, as we engage with a thought, it creates a circuit that sends a signal to our body and we react in a certain way. Now, the more we repeat this pattern, the more it seeps into our mind and becomes a habit. As we keep thinking the same thoughts, we produce the same emotions and perform the same actions. Thus, we continue to live by the same experiences. As we repeatedly engage in the same thought patterns of think, feel, do, these patterns encode a blueprint in our subconscious. And what does our subconscious mind do? It runs 95% of our life on automation. Neuroscientists have shown that most of our decisions, actions, emotions, and behavior depends on the unconscious brain activity, which is coming from our subconscious mind. Carl Jung's words, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. So you see, thinking is an extremely important mental process. If we engage with empowering thoughts, it will trigger a positive emotional state, which will then be reflected in our actions. The real problem is not the problem often. The real problem is how we think about our problem. It may not be so much about the circumstances, but how we think about the circumstances. So, if we can observe and change our perception, we can alter our emotional reaction, which will then change our physical reaction, ultimately changing how we act and experience reality. And that's exactly why true change begins from inside, not the outside. We try and spend our energy to change our experiences from outside, not realizing that the whole thing is being projected from inside out. Now, my question to you is, are you in control of what you think? Have you trained your mind to think positively and resourcefully? Kindly introspect. On this note, I will leave you to introspect. And our next meeting shall be a talk on how to discipline the mind. Pranam.